So I'm talking to Fred here, and Fred's telling me things that are going on for him. And I'm not going to come in with any preconceived, the idea is not to come in with any kind of preconceived idea about who Fred is, what he's about, what his values are. I'm trying to come in as a blank slate. You're able to place new perspectives oftentimes in the minds of people somewhat gracefully, in a way that people are willing to accept what you're saying. They're willing to kind of allow it to enter into their brain matter, their minds. And you don't have to push, you don't have to force, you don't have to compel, you don't have to coerce or cajole. You're just having a conversation. And somehow the hardwiring is taking place in terms of, hey, I like this idea. I like this perspective. And they're not even thinking about you. It's the idea. We can have a great conversation around the nature of mind, where it comes from, and the circuitry of mind that exists on our planet in terms of what's going on with our minds. Not today, and maybe not too much in this class or this 45 classes, but that circuitry exists. And what statespeople do is that they tap into that circuitry, because there are going to be similarities in your thinking, and there's going to be differences, there's going to be overlap. But you have to understand that there is a circuitry of mind that's at play for all of us. Here, I won't say much more about that. Hold on, there was one more. There was one more there, thanks, that's all right. And so that last one's kind of self-explanatory. But you'd want to have the conversations where people don't get into the self-defense mode. And they don't kind of grow these personal resentments. You know, that's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. But on the other hand, that's what we teach in terms of, if you want to have the skill set where you're actually talking with people, you're a leader. You're a leader in a community. You're the President of the United States. How do you have the kind of conversation in a way? Now, that doesn't mean, there's lots of complexities with these kinds of conversations, folks. But once you get into this mode, and once everybody understands these are your values as a leader, and once people feel listened to, and they know that you're trying to understand, and they know that you're present when they're with you. And there's a saying that goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so when they realize that, it's amazing how the conversations can go when you're a leader in terms of presenting a tough idea, presenting a perspective that someone totally disagrees with. But they'll come from the perspective, this person's a good person. I know my voice counts, my thoughts matter. By the way, I want to add one more thing to my voice counts, my thoughts matter, my humanness is valued. That doesn't mean you get your way, okay? That does not mean that. When I introduce that to police officers and firefighters and other people would say, Chief, you said my voice counted. Well, that didn't mean you got your way. And I had to kind of make that point really clear, that your voice does count. It counts as much as mine. As long as your agenda is about bigger than your own, as long as what you're saying is bigger than your own self-interest, your voice counts as much as anybody's, including mine. That was my own take on things. But that doesn't mean you get your way. And by the way, I got my way probably less than anybody. But that wasn't important for me, because I knew brilliance and genius resided in the minds of the people that were there. They may not know that yet, but I knew that. That's where statespeople come from. They see each and every person and they say genius, they say brilliance, they say exceptional. And they're all part of that mind circuitry. And they're coming from this place where their agenda is not about their self-interest. Then people will listen. And you can get across ideas that maybe aren't served on a silver platter, that everything that you agree with, a lot easier. Okay.